Are you somebody that thinks that they can't buy a home because you have a bad credit score? You're not alone. My name's Crowley-Peart, and I'm a realtor here with one of my good friends and lender to kind of go over what it actually means to get a house with a low to no credit score.
Hi, I'm Josh Pennebaker with branch manager at Hometown Mortgage in Kansas City. So it's always a misconception that people think you have to have a 700 plus credit score to buy a home, and that's just simply not the case. I have a lot of people that come in the office all the time, and they're hesitant on trying to buy a home. They don't know where to start. They think they have to have a perfect credit score, or, they just have a lot of questions that they don't have answers to. I've seen things from the really, really bad to the really, really good. And you know what? Some of those people that were in really bad situations when we first got in contact with them, were able to buy a home.
So is there a situation that you can describe that, a bad situation or a really bad credit score, they finally had the nerve to come in and ask, like, what was kind of the situation? What happened with that? Like,
Sure.
Can you give us an example?
Yeah. So one off the top of my head, I had a borrower that kind of waited till the last minute, didn't take that preparation step of contacting us up front. But like anything, scrolling on the couch on a Saturday afternoon, looking on Zillow,
Oh, yeah.
Found the perfect home. Oh my God,
Always
this
the
is the
house.
one I
I
love.
need this.
Right. And, we got the application in, pulled credit. Everything looked great. Everything lined up perfect, except for an $11 medical collection from 2 years ago that the borrower had no idea.
The medical collections, they just go over. You get so much stuff in the mail and the emails, you sometimes don't even know what's out there.
We were able to get some documentation showing that it was paid. She called and made the payment on it. And just like that, over 70 points increase on credit score.
And how long did it take for that increase?
So 48 hours. So
Oh my goodness.
if
See,
you
a lot
have,
of people think it's months.
yeah, if it's something simple like that, that's, doesn't have a whole lot of moving parts to it, we can get a payoff letter showing the debt's been paid to the creditor. And then we can submit what's called a rapid rescore for the customer. So essentially,
And so you help do all that?
I help do all
Nice.
that, right?
Nice.
So the borrower gets that information. If they try to do it on their own, they're going to have to wait for Experian and TransUnion and Equifax to update.
Well, and then they're going to have to learn how to do it.
Right.
First,
And
let's back to Google.
right. Jumping through all those hoops, it just causes unnecessary worries and stress, right? We can hard push it to the credit bureaus
Makes it
on the
faster.
backside, and they'll update it within 24 48 hours. So
Nice.
super straightforward and simple on a lot of those items.
So
But-
what happened once you got that done for her?
So went from having to go to an FHA loan for sure to highly qualified going on a conventional loan. We closed in 45 days.
On the house she wanted.
On the house that she wanted.
So you got it done that fast.
Yep. So it went live, like I said, on a Saturday. Got everything submitted, and by Monday afternoon got
That's
the credit
awesome.
score rebounded. They were able to put the offer in on the home, and we closed.
So to get back to the credit score type thing, what is it exactly? Like, where are we going with that for people with bad credit when it looks, when it comes to getting a house?
I think the very first step is always to just get an application in so we can take a look at things. And I don't want to say that to scare someone and say, oh, I don't want to run an application. I don't want to, take a hard hit on my credit. But
That's what a lot of people are scared of. They're like, my
and it
credit's
is.
already bad. Don't make it worse.
Right. And the thing is, you're allowed to have a hard inquiry on your credit every 12 months. The biggest piece is, it's hard to understand how you're going to achieve a goal if you don't have a roadmap on how to get there, right?
That's true.
So by getting an application in, even if you're going to look at buying 6, 8, 12 months down the road, right? Who knows? Maybe we get the application in and hey,
Qualify.
it flies with, it's with flying colors. Everything looks great. You don't have anything to work on, and talk about a stress reliever,
Yeah.
right?
Which happens
Which
quite
does
often.
happen.
Yeah.
It happens. I would say 8 out of 10 times almost that when someone has a scenario and I can feel the tension on the other side of the phone or across the desk of I'm worried about this. I don't know if I'm going to qualify. We'll put you on a clear path to give you a good direction so you know what you need to do or the steps you need to do to get to the position to buy a home. All lenders have tools also where when we pull a credit report, we can model things out with a rescore calculator. And I can manually go in and play with those numbers to see where you're going to get the biggest bang for the buck. Most people, when I talk to them, they say, hey, I'm going to wait for 6 months or whatever the case is, and I'm just going to pay off some debt. That is not a good idea.
And that's the more common idea, though.
It is.
Most people are like, let me just pay off all my debt and then I'll come back.
Right.
That's what they think they should do.
100%. You could pay that debt off and not see 1 point shave on a credit score.
A lot of times you have to get a letter from them and they won't just offer that to you if it's paid. There's a whole lot of things that go into it, but the point is even if you do have a bad credit score, you can still potentially qualify for a house. If you can't qualify for that house, he will let you know, and then he'll be able to help get you to the steps to be able to get your credit score up enough to even bare minimum to qualify for it. You know, as a realtor, I get that question a lot too, and they don't really know what they need to do. And I always say your first step is to get pre-approved, because you don't know how much of a house you can afford if you can't afford a house at all at this very moment. So there's a lot of steps in place that go for both the realtor and the lender, and that's why we work so closely together, because he has all the answers for the house loan side of things. I have all the answers for the buying the house. And, you know, we come together to make this creative process work for you. You know, even calling one of the two of us free of charge with no hassle, right? You're wasting time and you're wasting money, frankly, because if you're renting, usually, 100%. I mean, you're paying somebody's mortgage, like you said, and all their interest plus some. So why not own a house in the process if you're already spending that money? It's
just being real. And that's our goal, is to help this be as smooth as a process as it can for you. Help you understand what's going to happen after you get under contract and all that good stuff, so there's no surprises and we have a smooth sailing loan.
So the whole point of this video at the end of the day is just showing people what's possible, right? So even if you don't think that you can't afford, or that credit score is not good enough, or grandma's not going to loan you the money, or I don't know, there's always something that we can help with, that we can walk you through. It's free information. All right, so I'm Abby Crowley-Peart, realtor in Kansas City, Missouri.
Josh Pennebaker with Hometown Mortgage in Kansas City.
You can find both of our links at the bottom there in the description and be able to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Thanks.